Good day everyone, my name is Mapule M and this is Edify. Thank you for watching our show. We received great feedback for the previous episode, the Boss Lady episode, and thank you for liking, subscribing and referring us to some of your family members and business partners. It's highly appreciated. The purpose of this show is to enlighten, to encourage, to motivate and to show you that you can do what other people can do within reason. You just have to learn how. Today I'm here in Mogale City Municipality. It's a local municipality to speak to the mayor. His name is Patrick Naga Lipidu. So shall we? How are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm very pleased to
fine.
meet you.
I'm also pleased to meet you.
Yeah, so Mr. Naga, I wanted to find out in terms of just your background, how did you become the mayor of the West Rand? Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Look, obviously in life you always wish to achieve, good things.
Yes.
I started to be a leader. I joined the revolution of the country.
Yes.
And in the process, you get a lot of training.
Okay.
Whether theoretically or practically.
Yes.
As you are deployed to go and do certain tasks. So when I started to be a branch secretary of the ANC.
Okay.
And I think it was after the unveiling of the ANC,
right.
Somewhere in 1990 something, and I think it was 1992.
Okay.
So with time I became the branch chairperson, which I served it for many years because of the way the elections were taking place here after every year. So I stayed there for many years. At one point I was also elected the chairperson of the resident committee,
right.
in a particular area called
So are you a high performer because you were getting promoted, right?
Look, I'm a person who understands that when you are given a task,
yes,
the expectation is that you must execute this particular task with discipline, so that you can be able to yield the pre-planned objective of that particular task.
Yes.
I'm a person who understands that you must always be what we call always be self-aware.
right.
Who are you at a particular point?
Yes, yes.
So that when you are a leader, you don't decide to be an ordinary person, particularly when there are challenges. So you have to take a soft spot in that particular way. So I then served in the ANC region as an RC member.
Right.
With time, and then I was also elected the regional secretary,
Yes.
particularly deputy regional secretary.
Okay.
With time, then I was elected as a regional secretary,
Yes.
which I served for 3 terms.
Okay.
Which means that I was elected 3 times.
3 times.
In fact, at a particular time, they wanted to elect me for the 4th term. But I have to lobby as well, because they were lobbying that, no, can you come in now for the 4th term? I said, no. I disagree with you because I also have a responsibility to build the next layer of leadership.
Yes.
So there are other people that we can basically also bring them on board.
Okay.
And I think I won that particular discussion. We end up electing somebody else. So as soon as that happened, then I remained in the RSC.
Right.
I was deployed in government as a PR councillor, and I was appointed as a MMC, member of the mayoral committee dealing with the infrastructure. At one point then I was shifted to housing.
Sure.
And with time then I was elected or appointed as the council whip or council chief whip. And I ran with a particular course. After the term of that particular office of the municipality, which was West Rand municipality,
yes.
I was again elected or appointed as a council whip.
It's been a long journey, hey?
Yeah, it has been a very long journey.
Yeah, so you don't just reach these results over a short period of time. I just wanted to emphasize that to our viewers, right?
Indeed.
It takes time.
It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. I'm a person who believes in 3 Ds. which is determination. Because when you're determined, you'll be able to reach what you want to reach, or achieve what you want to basically achieve. And the second D is dedication.
Yes.
That at all times, dedicate a particular time on something that you want to achieve. Don't waste the time.
Yes.
And the last one is discipline. Always be humble, respect people, treat people in the manner in which you want them to basically treat you.
That's true.
So those are some of the principles that I was basically using. Of course, another principle is that I believe in six P's,
right,
which is proper priorities, preparations, prevent poor performance. There's so many things that you want to do, but you can't do all of them at once. You must be able to prioritize, but prioritize things that are going to take you to the next step.
And then on that subject, sorry to interject, I wanted to find out, so do you think leaders are born or raised? And what do I mean by that? I just want you to emphasize the fact that, is it because of your training that you became the person that you were, or do you think you were just born with these characteristics or attributes that you have? Or did you learn from other people?
Look, if I have to speak about myself, I was not born a leader.
Right.
I got there through a particular process, and that changed how I view things.
Okay.
Because leadership is not only about common sense.
Right.
You must be
common
trained.
sense is not that common.
Yes. Yes. There are people who believe that no, you can run as a leader on a basis of common sense. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn. You have to go through a particular process and to understand things that you don't basically understand. The issue is that you need to be a hard worker.
Okay.
And a person who believes that the shortcut on things is very dangerous. So you must always subject yourself to a very long process in whatever that you are basically doing. So I always make this particular point, you must always understand the rules of the game.
Yes.
So, for example, if you want to play soccer, you can't go and learn the rules of the game of a rugby.
Right.
Learn soccer.
Yes.
So that you can be able to understand what needs to be done and be able to...
And so that you can master it.
You master it in that particular way. Anyway, as we speak about master, I'm a person who believes that you must always master the relationship between theory and practice.
That's true.
Because they say that a theory with no practice is sterile. You can't produce anything. But equally, a practice with no theory is blind. You can't wake up in the morning and you want to do something, but you never thought about it.
Yes, yes.
So what I'm basically saying is that leadership, you get involved and then basically learn things. And then in the process, once you understand things, you can also make your own contribution. It's like people who are writing books. When you do the investigation, you'll find that these people who like reading. So as they read, they gain a lot of knowledge. Somewhere they want to
express
impart that particular knowledge. So leadership is also like that.
As you continue to read, you get your perspective as well.
Indeed.
On the things that the other person was speaking about. What are the duties of you as a leader in this office? What are your duties? What are your daily duties?
The mayor is basically there in terms of the law.
Okay.
There's an act that deals with that. It can be both a Structural Act and also Systems Act. It basically indicates what's the role of the mayor.
Right.
The mayor's role is basically to lead an institution like the municipality.
Right.
One of the things that you expected as a mayor to do is to give direction, strategic direction of the municipality.
Yes.
And you do it in various ways. One of the things is that you must always consult with the communities. So the communities are the ones who are driving the process of change. Because of, I believe very strongly that the revolution is people. It's not leaders. It's people who want changes.
Right.
Leaders' role is to guide that particular revolution. So I'll go and meet with people, as an example, through the IDPs, where we will ask people, what is it that you want government to do
Where
for
do you meet people?
We meet people in various wards.
Okay.
Sometimes it may be one ward, you go to a ward, a single ward, deal with a particular issue. Sometimes you can cluster those particular wards.
The reason I'm asking is because, in terms of just communication with the young people, there's usually this thing where it seems as if they're not engaged or participating. So when you go to those wards, are there a lot of people, young people that you see and all that? Because the issue here is to create that awareness, to say that you need to participate for change.
Indeed, the first thing is that through this particular IDP, we'll start with what we call a sectoral engagement.
All right.
And youth, they come in as a sector.
Okay.
So we'll engage with them. By the time when you go and meet with a community at large, whether, as I said, through the ward, one ward, or you cluster them, they already have indicated from their side what are the needs that they want us to address them. But again, at that level, they will also participate. Because when you look at the population, the young people, we got more young people.
Yes, we do.
Because our province is basically constituted by the young people.
Yes.
So they also participate at a particular level. And we be encouraging our youth that what are the things that will basically help you to basically grow, to basically develop. So we expect you to also make proposals. But also we expect you to be part of that particular process.
Okay.
So that we don't do things without your participation. You have a lot of energy, you are our future.
Ideas.
Yes. And that is why I was approached by young people and I said, Mayor, we want to run a program with you that is called Mayor Scheme Youth.
Okay.
It's young people who approached me.
Okay.
And I said to them, I'm ready to basically partner with you.
Yes.
And that's why we went through a particular process, engaged the private sectors to basically come on board. We look at the young people because they may not need the same thing. Others, they say, no, we want jobs. Others, they said, we want to be entrepreneurs. And so on, So we moved with a particular program, and that these particular young people that are still there, they went through a particular training, and now at the stage whereby we are looking at how do we assist them with a startup, capital, so that they can be able to continue with this particular business that they have established.
Right.
Because the aim is that we want to bring them to the mainstream of the economy.
Right.
But they have to start somewhere. Like what the Chinese proverb says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. There's no shortcut to the particular issue.
Because if there's one thing that I've recognized with everything, any initiative and everything else, is sometimes when it comes to the government, then you get aid, which is funding. But there's just a demand for training, for exposure. So that's what, when I sit down with entrepreneurs, that's usually the thing that they usually say, because people want to build profiles for their companies, and the government has those resources. So if we're given exposure and not just funding, that's very important, because I think that's the other reason why people don't even yield results. After such workshops and time and money has been put in such initiatives, people that have ideas, people that want to strategize, where do we go?
Look, there are many ways to do it, but I will just confine myself to the municipality.
Right.
We have encouraged young people that they must always come forward if they've got ideas.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I've met with a lot of young people.
Yes.
Who basically come forward and say, this is what we're basically thinking. How do we help us? And we will be able to refer them to the relevant structures or fora in order to basically get a particular help. Because young people, they are full of ideas. And we want those particular ideas to be able to find a ground where they can basically settle and basically be taken forward. And that's why in this particular municipality we have interns, which was one of the programs that we're basically running, called the learnership.
Yes.
because we believe very strongly that for people to be able to be empowered, give them knowledge.
Yes.
But somewhere, practicalize that particular knowledge.
That's true.
Because the knowledge, when you experiment it, you then gain the experience.
Yes.
And that particular issue is very important. So that's what we are basically doing. Our doors are open.
Okay.
I do have a lot of appointments with the young people, obviously. But when it comes to the elderly people,
Right.
even disabled people, they know very well when they want to meet the mayor. Then I tell them, I'm the one who's going to come to your place.
Okay.
You should not have to take a taxi and come here.
Okay.
I want to come to.
Oh, you
to
even go to the communities
yes, I
and drive there.
visit. I visit,
Wow, that's very intriguing.
especially elderly people and disabled people.
Okay.
Just to give you an example, there was a disabled gogo who wanted to meet with me. And I said, no, I'd rather come to your place. So I went there. He stays in a shack. And he says to me, my child, I've been in this particular shack with my grandchildren. I don't want to die in this particular shack. I want a house.
Sure.
And I came back. I communicated with the housing department. We look at the situation. And then, and as she was talking to me that time, she was crying.
Oh.
You know, we managed to build her a house
Wow. That's
that is friendly to her condition. So the day when we were putting her there, I was there. I'm the one who was putting her in that particular house. She was crying, but this time around, crying the tears of joy in that particular way.
And I think it does something to you mentally as well, as you continue to do, because, you know, it's very important for leaders to find synergy with their people, with their communities, because that's when you can feel the heartbeat, and that's when change can really begin. Because when there's a gap, I just feel like that's the reason why people have cries or needs and they're not met. It's because the leadership sometimes is just far away.
I can tell you that I get fulfilled
Yes.
every day when I help other people. So this thing is in my DNA. I get fulfilled, and that's why every day we're not resting. We always try our level best to see how do we move people forward.
Yes.
In that particular way, because that's why we're here. We're here to coordinate a particular revolution, as I indicated, as leaders.
So for somebody that is striving to be sitting in your shoes someday, what advice would you give them?
The advice is that firstly, you must be very honest.
Okay.
In anything that you do, be honest. When there are problems, indicate to people there are problems. And basically suggest what you think should happen and then get their feedback
All right.
on a particular issue. The second issue is that you must work hard.
Okay.
Don't dodge things.
Okay.
Don't dodge the work, don't dodge problems.
Okay.
Work hard on this particular issue.
So leadership is about work.
It's about
Yes,
work and
hard
work.
working.
Because remember that Baba Nelson Mandela
Yes.
have basically given us an answer.
He's right here with us.
Yeah, yes, he has given us an answer as to how do you deal with these particular issues.
Yes.
And he says, it always seems impossible until it is done.
Yes.
What does it mean is that you look at the matter and say, hey, would I really address this particular matter? But the only way that will then prove whether you can address it is when then you put efforts
Right.
to it. So when you are a leader, that's one of the things that you must basically do. And always be prepared to work with the communities. Because to be a leader does not follow that you monopolize wisdom. There may be many things that you don't know even how to deal with them. But when you are involved in the communities, and then you basically throw something and say, let's brainstorm around this particular matter, you will find that at the end, there's a way on how this particular matter, you can basically deal with it. And in the process, again, delegate people
Yes,
to do the work. Because you alone, you can't basically be able to.
No, and that's why it's so
do this.
important, even with choosing the right people that will have the same heart. Do you understand? Because sometimes those mistakes happen very frequently. If you're an entrepreneur, you know all about that. That it's very important, the team, because it's a team effort to make things work, right? Yes. So the other thing that I wanted to speak to you about is what are some of the concerns that you have when it comes to our community, and how can we contribute? You know, because obviously as a mother, from that perspective, I have a young boy that I'm raising, and I think I can get advice on what to do to groom these young men that are coming up, because those are the future leaders.
It's true.
Do you have any advice for us?
Look, one of the concern from our communities is unemployment.
Okay.
And you know, sometimes they feel that the government should be the one that should be employing them. The unfortunate part is that, especially as a municipality, that's not our role to employ people. Our role is that we are a service delivery instrument. But we also have a role to create enabling environment for people to get employment, to engage the private sector, but also to also assist the private sector in terms of ensuring that we address whatever challenge may be.
Do you know where I think that perception comes from?
Yes.
Every time somebody is out there representing their party or anything, they're always promising jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the back of the mind, people are thinking, you promised that this is what you were going to do.
Yes.
So I think in terms of that, just to clear that out, that's where that comes from.
Look, we understand the context.
Yes.
And that's why at the end of the day, we make sure that we create an enabling environment for the private sectors to operate and be able to grow, because their growth will ensure that they absorb people that are not basically working in that particular sense. But secondly, is also to provide trainings as much we can basically do that. So that's one issue, the unemployment. The second thing is that people, they want us to help them, you know, to start certain projects that they're basically running. We're encouraging people that people should, instead of being a single business person, go for cooperatives.
Okay.
Because there you are accommodate as many people as possible.
Okay.
So
because
that
the aim is to enrich your community, or to affect. It's not just about one person getting wealthy. And,
yes. It's to broaden this particular program, so that it can be able to cover as many people as possible.
Yes.
And so that we can prioritize cooperatives in basically when we want certain goods, when we provide certain services, so they can basically form part of that particular process. Obviously, the issue about the young people is something that I'm not be able to sleep. Always thinking about what are the programs that we can basically introduce, what else can we basically do, because the issues that we must always ensure that the government is an instrument that we put before the people, so they can use it in order to be able to address and even to reach their dreams.
Yes.
So that's one of the issues that we're basically doing.
And then the other thing that I wanted to ask you is about this exhibition that you're going to be having annually, right? Can you tell us more about that?
We are
The
talking
expo.
about. Okay.
Yes, the expo.
The issue of the education is a very, very important issue.
Yes.
And we take it very seriously in this particular municipality. We do provide people, our learners, with bursary. Last year, I had budgeted 400,000.
Okay.
But after the applications, because I've established a professional team to assess that particular process.
Okay.
Because I want everything to be very professional.
Right.
The outcome then indicated that we'll need 1.4 million. 1.4 million.
It was above.
So we're short of a million, because I budgeted 400. But I went and ensured that when we're doing the adjustment budget, we put a particular a million. We found it,
Yes.
and we're able to cover all these particular learners.
That's great.
Then for this financial year, I budgeted 1.5 million. Recently, after the process was basically done, adjudication done, it basically showed that we'll need 440,000 more.
Okay.
So which means that it's now 1.9 and 40,000. So I found that particular money. So addressing all those particular kids that qualified.
So there are people that are benefiting.
Our young people are benefiting a lot, and I'm happy because with this increase, it basically shows that our young people, they believe in themselves, they believe in education as we appeal to them, and therefore they are basically coming forward. So which I'm very happy about it. I'm not worried that there's more money that we must basically add. For that particular money, it basically gives us a value. Because if our kids they get educated, we know that they are facing a very brighter future in a particular sense.
Yes, and they'll create because their ability to create is in demand.
Indeed.
When you look at everything on the net, you can see that those are the people that are the high flyers today. So even with young people that I usually get together with, that's usually the thing where the need comes then to help them package whatever it is, because a lot of people feel threatened by the fact that you can go to these corporate companies and then they take your idea.
Yes.
So that's where training comes in. That's where information and the synergy will assist in our communities. The people that have done it and sharing that knowledge. This is how you do it. This is how you write a proposal. Yes. Just because sometimes people think aid is just finances, and it's not. Aid can come as education, as guidance, as mentor, which brings me to my next question. Did you have any mentors growing up or in this environment where you've worked?
I have people who influenced me.
Okay.
I would say they became my role model.
Okay.
One of them is the current premier of Gauteng.
Okay.
David Makura.
Yes.
I worked with him for a very long time. Right. When I was a regional secretary, he was also a provincial secretary. So we'll have those particular engagement as I was doing work in the West Rand. And I learned a lot of things that he was basically doing. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I learned is that don't approach things in a casual manner.
Okay.
Be firm how you approach things, understand what you are basically doing, initiate things. Don't expect other people to initiate things when you're not basically doing anything.
That's a very profound message, by the way, for all the people at home that are watching.
Yes. So that thing is very important. And once you have established what we call unity of purpose, which means that we agree on what is it that we must basically do. It must be followed by unity of action.
Right.
Do exactly what you have basically agreed that you're going to basically do. So I learned a lot of things from him that we must manage. We must ensure that things are within your management. They are not out of your management, because they may basically then resort into things that you would not basically want to achieve. So what it means that there must be a deliberate action, whatever that you are doing, so that things are not left for chances.
That's true.
Because when you leave things for chances, somebody else is going to drive them.
That's
why scientists, they say, occupy space. If you leave a space, you mustn't think that nothing's going to go in that particular space.
Definitely.
Something's going to go there in that particular space.
You have to go and investigate and find out.
Yes. So it's one of the people that even today he continues to really inspire me.
Okay.
Along those particular lines. So in the process, but you also open yourself to even other people, just to check how people are basically doing things, especially if those are good practices. You must not feel shy to basically copy if somebody is doing something which is very good. The only issue that they avoid wrong things, avoid risks. So that in the process you continue to build a very good reputation.
Because
you do things in a very ethical way at all times. Things that that these things are not going to help, just avoid them.
Because association brings assimilation. So even the people that you surround yourself with, sometimes, if they're not good, stay away from them.
Exactly.
That's the best advice indeed. So I don't know if there's anything that you'd like us to know in closure before we go. Is there any advice that you want to give to somebody that aspires to be the president of this country, that is watching this program? just those few words that can just motivate them and encourage them?
Look, I will say something that I said when I was addressing the students of Tutolefa, because I was told that there's a problem there of gangsterism. And I said, no, I want to be part of addressing this matter, so I want to address them. And one thing that I said to them is that if you want to be a good person, do everything that builds a good person. If you want to be a mayor tomorrow, a councillor tomorrow, a premier tomorrow, a president tomorrow, just ensure that everything that you do, you build a very solid foundation.
True.
Stay away from wrong things, because at the end of the day, whatever that you do, even often becomes your character.
Yes.
So ensure that people, they know that you've got this particular character of a person that even whatever that he says, it builds, because words can build and they can destroy.
True.
So those things, if you understand all these particular things, there's no way in which you can go wrong. Even when you make a mistake, because we're human beings, we make mistakes. It shouldn't be a mistake that was deliberately done. It should be a mistake because of it's part of the weakness that you maybe have, but then ensure that these mistakes, you basically correct it. Admit where you are wrong, because when you admit where you are wrong, it's have a way to resolve the matter. Because many problems today, they basically stay for too long because you are denying that you have basically done these things. So admitting that you have done a mistake, it basically you are demonstrating that you are a human being.
That's true.
And those things are very important. It's something that I want to basically share, that if you understand that everything, you will basically overcome it. Because when you spend more time on problems. It's like this particular problem, you are glorifying them. Just identify where things went wrong and basically deal with them. Use a particular energy to do that, because some of the things, if they would have happened, we no longer have a power over them.
Yes.
We no longer have a power on the past, but we have a power in the future.
Thank you for watching Edify. We just had a great conversation with the mayor. Men become what they think, and that's what this show was all about, to enlighten, because success leaves trails of clues. And I hope this encounter was worth your while. Thank you. Goodbye.